Hi everyone, I'm Jim Vallone. I'm the Director of Student Services and I'm also the COVID-19 Safety Coordinator for the district. Today I'm going to talk to you about monitoring student and staff health, starting with how students and staff will be screened. So the best line of defense from spreading COVID-19 is to make sure your student or students come to school symptom-free. Parents and guardians need to complete a quick health questionnaire each day for their students by taking their temperature, and it can't be greater than 100.0 degrees Fahrenheit, and checking for other symptoms, including fever, congestion, fatigue, headache, nausea, diarrhea, sore throat, body aches, shortness of breath, or loss of taste and smell, and then answering the other questions at the end. You log onto the parent portal and record the screening for the day. Students should be kept home if they show any symptoms or answer yes to any of the other questions. And this includes any other students that are in the household, because those students would be considered in close contact. If a student is kept home due to failing the screening, your parent or guardian needs to contact the health office of the school or the main office and then head to your healthcare provider for next steps. The school health office needs to be contacted. The school nurse will follow up with your family later in the day regarding any diagnosis. All students in the household will need a note from a healthcare provider to clear them to return to school. In addition to health screening at home, students will have a temperature check completed as they enter the school in the morning from a touch-free infrared monitoring device. No data is recorded or kept from this device. If the device detects that a student may have a temperature above 100 degrees Fahrenheit, he or she will be asked to go to the health office and wait for further assessment. Staff will be screened as well. Each staff member in the district will complete a daily health questionnaire before they arrive to work. If they are symptomatic, they will stay home, contact his or her supervisor, and then seek guidance from a healthcare provider. If the staff member is not symptomatic, he or she will be cleared to come to work. When there is a suspected or confirmed COVID case, if you are a staff member, if you're symptomatic while at work, you will contact your supervisor, leave the building, contact your healthcare provider, and then follow up with your supervisor regarding any diagnosis. If you are found to be tested positive, contact tracing will begin through the Department of Health. Staff members, if you're not diagnosed with COVID but you do have symptoms, you must be symptom-free for at least 24 hours before you can return to work, and you must provide a note from a doctor clearing you to come back to work, and that note needs to be sent to the Human Resource Office. If you are diagnosed with COVID-19, before you can return to work, you must provide a note from your healthcare provider clearing you to return. You need to wait at least 10 days after a positive test or the onset of your symptoms. Wait at least 24 hours since the onset of a fever without any fever-reducing medication, or wait at least 3 days since all symptoms have improved. And these bullets would be provided by your healthcare provider. He or she will decide when you're clear to return to work, and a note will be provided. If you are in close contact with a person, with a staff member who's symptomatic or who has tested positive, per the Department of Health, any response to suspected or confirmed COVID-19 cases in school will be determined by whether safety precautions were followed by students and staff. So in other words, close contact would be if you didn't have a mask on, the person with symptoms or confirmed didn't have a mask on, and you were together for at least 15 minutes, at least 48 hours before symptoms or tested positive happened. So keep that in mind. Both you and the person with COVID or with the symptoms of COVID would have to be not wearing a mask, be within 6 feet of each other for 15 minutes or more. For students, if there's a suspected or confirmed case with students, if a student's symptomatic during the day, the procedure will be that he or she will be sent to the health office for screening by the nurse. If it's recommended, the student needs to see a doctor. The student will be isolated from other students and staff, supervised by the nurse, and then wait for a parent or guardian to pick them up. Any students who share a household with the student showing symptoms will also need to be picked up from school. Those students, those household students, are also considered to be in close contact and therefore need to go home. Parents and guardians picking up the student will be screened before they can enter the building, and the nurse will follow up regarding any diagnosis from the healthcare provider. If the student tests positive for COVID-19, he or she must stay home from school until cleared, prepare to learn remotely. The nurse will notify the COVID-19 safety coordinator, that's me. Monroe County Health Department will be notified by the lab that did the tests, and contact tracing will begin. And again, students, before they can return to school, must have written documentation from a healthcare provider that they're cleared to return, and that goes for any other students in the household. Per the Department of Health, again, response to any suspected or confirmed case will be determined by whether safety precautions were followed by students and staff. So simply being in a classroom with a student that had symptoms or tested positive does not necessarily mean that the teacher or other students in that classroom need to go home. Social distancing, if that was practiced, and wearing masks being practiced, they would not be considered in close contact. I hope that helps clear up some of the questions and concerns regarding screening and regarding what to do if a student or staff member has symptoms or is actually confirmed to have COVID-19. For any updates, please check the district website from time to time, as this is a constantly changing situation.